Well, it's 4:00. So.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, right. Pledge allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You take care of the call, right? No problem. You got everybody down. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes? No? Okay, I'll give you one.
And speed reading.
No, go ahead, take it.
They're both the same. I'm just. Instead of making a copy, it's just. This is mine. I printed this out. There's a copy.
I have one question on it.
Go ahead.
The Angels have been working with a consultant. So what's that all about?
We're trying to sell the items in the carriage house, so I have someone who is listing the items and selling the items, and any money that is raised will go directly to the Angels. So it won't come to us because we can't fundraise,
Mm-hmm.
but she will pass the money, write a check on to the Angels, and she's tracking everything, and so they'll get all that documentation, so they'll have backup in case anyone asks where the money came from and how it was acquired.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Any more comment? Move to accept?
Yeah.
Make a motion.
Okay,
I second.
thank you. All right, now the next one, nomination of officers. Anybody thought about it?
I think you're doing it.
No, I told you at the get-go.
I'm so proud of you.
I told you at the get-go when Jolisa left that I was interim. And I said, I am not interested as chair. So, anybody else like to step up? Don't all start.
Would you like to?
No, I think my term's coming to an end.
Really?
Probably legally as well. Anybody, please. We need chair, vice chair, and clerk. Now, currently, you are the clerk. We don't have a vice chair, and we will not have a chair.
Don't look at me. I'm a newbie. I don't know.
Oh, you're not.
Not brand new, but.
What do? We need a chair.
If,
Don't give me the.
if I did.
Get pretty in pink. Yeah, there you go.
I'm not sure I can do it as effectively, but if I do it, who'd like to be vice chair? Is there somebody willing to help?
I'll be vice chair.
Okay.
So we have a nomination, Claire, for chair.
Self-nominated.
I'll nominate you. Okay, that's good. And we have Lisa. I'll nominate Lisa for vice chair.
I'll second that.
Okay, great.
Second Claire.
Good. We're good. Now we just need clerk, and I wouldn't mind doing clerk.
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right.
Can we nominate a backup too? Because not all of us are here at all the time.
This is true, because I'm,
Yeah.
for two months of the winter, I have 2 meetings.
You
Good
know,
point.
a nominate, a backup would be great. That way
Yeah.
they get a feel for it.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, take notes.
Yeah. Would you, you go away in the winter also?
A little bit.
Just a little?
I mean, willing to try it.
All right. All right. As a backup, thank you. Yeah, because it's usually February and March I miss normally.
I second Wayne's.
Excellent. Great. That was easier. It's like pulling
Is
teeth.
that why Joe,
Went through all like,
is that why Joe didn't come today?
no.
So they had writing on the wall?
Okay.
Nominate him if he's not
Yeah,
good.
we should, right? Yes.
You talk about movies.
Congratulations.
One meeting he comes to.
You'll never know what happened, honey.
That's it. All right, Laura, you're up.
All right, in your packet is, of course, the agenda, the minutes, the financials, a copy of our June newsletter, the director's report, and then just an explanation of the new drive. Get it out. The new My Senior Center Rides program that we purchased. So I wanted to give you guys an overview. Finances were doing fine. I will discuss the Clinton Home Foundation. And because they gave us a donation, which brought back up Grady's Groceries and the Clinton Home Foundation. But we got our overall, like what we had spent throughout the year, and things pretty much match up with what Town Hall has.
Oh,
It matches up on what I have here.
Excellent.
So
It always helps.
it's a plus. We did have to take utilities out of our miscellaneous funds, and hopefully the bump that we get next year will prevent that for FY26. So does anyone have any questions about any of the bank balances?
Not the
Yeah,
current
maybe
balance,
finance.
but future. Is there any fear with going on with federal government as far as cutting aid or that funding?
As of now, we haven't seen it. The formula grant has already announced that they're going
Okay.
up by $1 for next year
Yeah.
for senior. And
And that starts July 1, right?
July 1. So we've gotten our 2 installments for FY25. We got a one in October and one like late March. So we'll probably get an influx of another 25K in October.
That's same
Another one.
schedule.
And it doesn't go away. So it continues like the revolving
Rolling,
account. We don't lose it at the end of the year to go into the general fund. It's our money, which is nice. So the warrant, thank you very much for signing. I appreciate it. I will drop that off tomorrow. Some announcements. You probably all saw the senior solvers at the library. They competed, they had shirts. It was a lot of fun, and they're going to be doing some more puzzle competitions on. It was fun. I
It
mean,
was,
good
it
time.
was. They enjoyed it. Oh, it was intense.
It was intense. It
Some
was.
tables, yeah.
You know, I think we put a little intimidation with all of our green shirts and pom poms, but it was fun. It was a good time. It was nice to just be outside of the building cheering on,
Yeah.
you know, our community. May 7th, Deb Weatherby, who is outreach, and Tricia, who is programming, went to the Massachusetts Council on Aging Spring Symposium. Jody Bardell, who used to work at Wheat, was the speaker there.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
That was phenomenal. So they were psyched to see her. They both brought back a lot of information. We've already done a couple of follow-up calls, and it was really, they really felt like a part of something, you know, going there, 'cause it's the first one that they've went
Sure.
to. So there's one in the fall that I'll go to, but it was important that they went, they've been here longer, and just sort of get a sense. Just as an announcement, June is Elder Abuse Awareness Month, and June 15th is Elder Abuse Day. If the number to call if you have any issues is 800-243-4636, and we're going to try to put out some more information.
No,
About
can't
that.
beat up on Peter anymore. At least
Yeah.
a month.
Take his phone away anyway.
He doesn't have one, he lost it. What's that?
The community.
Oh,
goes
this
out.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Right, they love you, Sheila. So, and I've been talking about our interactions on Facebook and our social media. In April, we had, 53,000 views. As of today in May, for the last 28 days, we've had 82,000 views.
I love it.
So we're going up with views. The reach went from 5,600 in April to 8,100 in May, and interactions went from 810 to over 1,600. And we have 16 new followers on the page. So what we're doing is
Yeah,
working. We're
yeah.
reaching people, we're connecting, we're sort of trying to spread across, different pages within town and reach out to different council on aging, sort of share information and just continue to build relationships. The email computer transition began with us yesterday, so we're starting to work with town hall and a gentleman named Quinn to get us all on laptops, get our information moved over. And also I'm working on, there's a lot of senior COA at clintonma.gov, COA Center at Clinton, like there's just a couple of different emails that we really don't need. It should be consolidated down to one that myself and Sherry can get into. So in case we need to do anything, answer anything, respond to anything, and also just have a general catch basin mailbox so that if somebody just, there's one-stop shopping. People shouldn't have to know
Doesn't
5
get
different
lost in
emails.
shopping.
They should only have to know one email to find us, and then we'll get back to them, and then we can have the individual relationship. So we don't want to miss anyone. The Clinton Community Garden, we have 48 beds are taken. Troop 10 donated their leftover plants last week, which was nice. So they're out there for the taken. And we have, oh yeah,
Did you say 48?
47.
Oh, okay, I missed some.
I could have said 48. I don't know if my glasses will work today.
Okay.
And then we also have a volunteer from the high school who's going to be filling up the water tanks on a weekly basis. So folks won't have to go over and use the hose. They can if they
Do we
want.
really need them with all the
I know, we
rain?
might not.
Yeah.
She might have to fill them today. She's filling them today, which might not be necessary considering what could be coming tomorrow, right? I had spoken at the last meeting that there were service incentive grants that we were presented from the Mass Council on Aging. And so we have already applied for and submitted one for outreach, which is, our idea was air conditioners for seniors. So installing them, they get to keep them. And sort of that was our idea for that because it has to be something that is standalone. It can't be something that needs to sustain. So it has to almost be like a one-time purchase. There's one for nutrition, and we are trying to build out a pantry in the basement. So that was for that, so we can have more meals and more nutritionally based meals based on the needs of our seniors. So that hopefully we will get. And then we also did a transportation grant. There is a new platform from my senior center called My Senior Center Rides. And one of your handouts has all the different pluses that this system brings to us. Some of the main ones are that we can change how the rides are going in real time. We don't have to have the 15-minute intervals. If something changes, we can contact the driver. If we end up, the route starts off, the day before with 3 rides, and if it's up to 6, the system will put together the best optimized route. So we're not wasting time of the drivers or even our community who are taking the vans.
So that's a nice compliment to what Sherry told us last
Yes,
time.
so this is phenomenal. The new program allows for tracking of no-shows and cancellations, which is great.
Yeah.
We know where the driver is real time. Instead of having to just do multiple handwritten reports, just with like the push of the button, everything is tracked. Everything is pulled into a document. So it will just save time, and we're getting more and more folks that are taking the van. So streamlining this and putting this program into place will just help us continue
Yeah, nice
to
compliment.
optimize
Yeah.
the rides. Also as well, it has a feature that it will contact folks to let them know they have a ride the next day. Sometimes Christine will call some out of town folks just to let them know, but this will automatically do it. So the fee was $5,000 for it. We do have to pay it each year, but this year I'm taking it from the formula grant because the grant is to be used for anything that helps our seniors. And so this is perfect. And then next year, what I'm hoping is that we can use the money from the grant if we get it, which I'm hoping we will, the three of us, Sherry, Deb, and myself, read over each other's grants and helped each other and really talked about best practices. So we really workshopped the 3 grants, which was really interesting and informative. So we'll use the money from the formula grant this year. What we're hoping is for next year when we do, we'll have the grant, so we'll take that. And then if we don't get it in FY26, that will be part of my budget. But it's worthwhile.
Sure.
And we can optimize Christine for a million more things, on top of this. So I want to share that with you. Myself and Deb Weatherby, we got our CPR recertification on May 13th. On June 11th, the 2nd grade class from CES is coming up to spend some time in our community garden. Polly, who is our volunteer for the garden, will meet with them and talk about the garden, and they'll read a book, and they're going to bring us some plants. So it's going to be very sweet. Our last Veterans Breakfast for sort of FY25 is June 20th. We take a break in the summer, but last week we had 38 registered veterans come with a wait list.
Wow.
So we're thinking
That's so nice.
it's so wonderful. It's
Yeah.
pardon me. What we'd like to do is maybe think about doing to-go boxes.
Would you
Sorry.
like to get some water?
Yeah. My goodness, I'm all flustered by the veterans. But
What an amazing number, 38.
That's excellent.
And they get here early and they stay late and they really enjoy it,
It's great.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If
Yeah. It's really
Well-
nice.
it is, and just everyone just is so it's just it's a nice time. But what we are going to do is that we do know that there are some veterans that don't want to come down. They don't want to, whether it's reliving it, they don't want to talk to other people. They just want to be who they are, and that's fine. But what we want to do is maybe do to-go boxes. So if you don't want to come, just come pick up a breakfast. Well, so we're gonna try that, I think, for June and see how that goes, and see if we can even reach more. Maybe once they come and get a to-go box, maybe they'll come back and maybe want to come in. But no forcing of anyone to do anything.
Laura,
Just
do you
wanna
know how
offer
many,
opportunities?
do you know how many were on the wait list?
There was like 4.
Oh,
Is that because this room won't accommodate them, that we have to have a wait list?
Yeah, we can only accommodate so many people because we have to have that entrance open, and we already put 1 table outside. So that's why we keep it to the number. But if we had a bigger space, like say, if the carriage house, we could maybe spread people out. So the more space we can optimize, we can open it up to more, which would be great. So nice segue though. So let me talk about the carriage house. So last week on my glasses all the time. A couple weeks ago on May 8th, I met with the Clinton Home Foundation. We had spoken the week before with the architects, and they were able to bring down the amount down to $463,000, which it was at $483,000. So hold on. There's so many numbers. Right. Yeah, so it's now at 467,000. But then we found out that we would need $80,000 to $90,000 for contingencies, whereas back in March it was 35,000 in contingencies. So I went looking through. We had money that was left over from the 3rd floor bill, and then with the money that we saved from the last quote to this quote, we needed another $40,000. I asked the Clinton Home Foundation for that money, and they granted it.
Wow.
So I have the letter here. We can pass it around if anyone wants to read it. The permanent building committee has been made aware, and now I'm just waiting for next steps to see what we do next. So it looks like we have what we need to have the carriage house and the renovations go forward. So that is wonderful news, and a big, huge thank you to the Clinton Home Foundation.
Were there any major changes? The price reduction down to the 467 from
Just
the original.
we, instead of doing a whole new roof, we're gonna sort of do patchwork. Like
Okay.
they said that we don't need a new roof.
Oh.
There's not a need for it, but there are spaces where there are holes.
Mhm.
And then there was The flooring, we went down a little bit more on the flooring. We talked about the electrical requirements. There will still be enough to make sure that the 2 splitters work, and there'll be also allowances if we need more electricity. So we're going with what we have. You know, if it's 106. The carriage house is going to be hot, but it would be hot in here. It would be hot in your house. You know, if it was 20 degrees below zero, there'll probably be a chill out in the carriage house, but there'd be a chill in your house. So we're
So, not
making sure that we can
huge
use
changes.
not huge changes, but enough. And they also, you know, we had a conversation about this is what we have. Can't go back to the town. We don't have any more.
Mhm.
And they're really sincere gentlemen. Like, it was a pleasure to have the calls that we've had with them. And I think it'll be a really nice working relationship once everything gets going. And they know that, you know, we're not sitting here with buckets of money to pass out. So they're going to be very mindful. So if there's something that like we can do, they're going to let us know. You know, we're not going to be hammering or
Yeah.
staining or anything. But if something needs to be moved or just, we can, you know, we'll
Yeah.
step up
Yeah.
and make sure it gets done.
Any estimated start time?
Not yet. The building committee was waiting for this letter, so now that they have the letter, then they'll take the steps with Elite Construction to determine when we move forward.
Who's doing the job?
It's Elite Construction,
Elite.
and I have a couple of emails into Mike Ward just asking, you know, once we know what do I need to do with the carriage house, how much stuff needs to be out, can I put stuff up on the second floor? Should I rent a storage locker? You know, for some of the chairs and other items that we might be able to use within the carriage house. If we, you know, go forward and are able to rent it out for functions, we might want to keep the chairs. Maybe not, but you never know.
You don't have the insurance for that, because when we were approached about having a wedding reception here, that was one of the things that we said, we're not insured. for
Oh,
that
all right,
type
then we'll
of
have to look into
activity.
insurance for the carriage house. Because
Or have a policy of
have a
not
rider.
doing it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because at that time it would have been, porta potties would have had to have been
Right.
brought in.
Right.
Right.
There are a lot of,
Ancillary things.
I think the wedding party was going to have to give police too.
yeah, we said they'd have to hire the
Yeah,
police,
yeah.
and then they'd have, when you hire the police for a function like that, you usually have to have somebody from the fire department working as well.
How
So
big was the function?
it's a wedding reception, and they wanted to use the stairwell for pictures, they wanted to use the kitchen, which is not open for public use, and then they were gonna put a
Use the
pen
bathroom.
and have a bar and tents out on
I
the
don't think any bar was gonna be, it was definitely tents.
tents.
They wanted to use the bathrooms and
Yeah,
the
there are a
building.
lot of things that they
Yeah.
wanted, and we,
They are gonna park over to St. John's Shannon.
Yeah.
and
No, this will be for putting together a carriage house use policy will be for our senior community to rent for small dinners, small parties, not weddings, not anything lavish.
Yeah.
There'll be a building capacity, you know, 30 people. Like, it will be
Very
for
good.
small, intimate events, but allowing our community to have a place that's affordable to rent and have functions and gather with their families. So we're
they've
not
had-
looking for anything.
Like a family reunion.
Right,
Like
small,
they-
yeah.
Yeah.
we've had bridal showers here.
Yeah.
It's small affairs, but
right.
nothing that requires.
No, nothing big with police details, and we would stay the same as Parks and Rec. It would be a dry.
Yeah.
There would not be liquor
Right, good.
here.
Yeah, because
And it
that's another
works-
liability.
Right, and it works down at Parks and Rec. The place is
Okay.
rented every weekend, so people are looking for small function halls to have
Great.
family events. And that could be a way to recoup some of the price
May have
and the money that's spent.
for next
Well,
year's,
that's fine.
for next year's events. Family, we're not coming here, you're going there.
There you go.
Thanksgiving dinner is there.
At the carriage house.
I'm not cooking.
Everyone's invited. So to circle back to the Clinton Home Foundation, in addition to helping us cover the contingencies, they also dropped off checks for Grady's Groceries and for the generator and for the stone fence out front. So they have been extremely generous.
Where do they get their
I
money?
was just asking, do you know where their funding comes from?
I think it's a video bank. It's like, I think
No,
there's
not
money,
the title,
I
but
think there's
how-
already money that they have, like, I
Right.
don't think they,
Is there
They're-
investments from what
Investments.
they've inherited?
Yeah,
I think so.
wow.
Did it come attached to
I
this?
didn't even know it existed. How many people are on this committee, do you know?
There's Joel, Elizabeth, with 5.
Yeah.
And so they meet once a month here. And then we have the Clinton Council on Aging Angels, and they met on 5/12, and they made donations for the buses for the Newport trip that we're taking on September 10th and the Hampton Beach trip that we're taking on June 18th. And they also help fund the Senior Solvers t-shirts. And then as well, our angel Sue Jewett is going to be making curtains for the puzzle room.
Just an FYI, I was telling Laura that last year, or the past couple of years, the center has had a trip up to the Foster's restaurant up in York, Maine for a lobster bake. And great time, had a show with the whole bit. Well, this year, since the center is not having it, they're not with Best of Times. Well, I guess for the Newport, is that Best of Times?
No, that's
Okay.
us.
All right. So anyways, my sister-in-law looked into it. They're still having it. It's $99, but you have to provide your own transportation. So that's telling you the cost of the buses would make it too much for the seniors. And that's how their workaround. We're 4 of us are going, but I'm driving.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I also want to make you aware of some purchases. We purchased an ice maker that makes 35 pounds of ice. We've found that we're going through a lot of ice, and our little machine that we have constantly leaks, and that's just a hazard. So we found that. We also needed to purchase a new fax machine. Our fax machine just kept dropping calls. It's 100 years old, and it only took the 8.5 by 11 paper, and a lot of the items that our outreach staff member Deb sends are legal size, awkward size, so she has to make a copy and then, whittle it down, and it's just not an efficient use of her time. We also got, it's in my office, I purchased a 6-panel room divider. I put it together last week. It was so inexpensive, but what we can do is if we're having a group meet here, we can put up the divider. Brandy can still set up for lunch, or if lunch is wrapping up, but games come in, or we want to get going and start bingo or something else, we can still, the folks that are having lunch can still enjoy their lunch, and we can still set up without sort of interrupting or making anyone feel like they're rushed or have to go. So we figured we can use that in a lot of different places. It's flexible. It weighs like 5 pounds. It can be easily moved and sort of manipulated. So we're going to find a lot of use for that.
Yeah, probably up on the 3rd floor.
Right, because we can split up the room, and,
Right.
and especially with tax season, if someone
Sure.
needs to have something private, or if we want to do anything where someone's meeting one-on-one, we can at least split the room.
Mhm.
And then I talked about my senior center rides already, and I thank you for that. If you will go down to programs, if you look outside, if you've driven by, we have 22 Memorial Day flags out. And I ended up putting out Deb Goodsell's father, who passed away. I put out his flag on Monday.
nice.
So, because I know she walks the park, so she could see it, and she did. So that was great. And they will be up through, I don't know, graduation fax machine. I was copying, pasting.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was.
The old graduation fax machine. But we're going to keep the flags up to graduation, because a lot of people come into town, and it will just be nice. So it'll be something else, and especially with the 50th reunion as well. Some
This is
events.
the first time this has been done,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
It's really nice.
Yeah, Deb started it. It was
Yeah.
something that she passed to me, and was able to, get the flags ordered and get them up, and it looks nice. It's I like seeing it every day. And just some things that are coming up on Tuesday, June 3rd, we have the Wheat Food Pantry for our seniors. They can get picked up and brought there and back and go to the pantry. We have on the 4th, Best of Times is coming. We're going to do an ice cream social. They're going to talk about trips, ask for input, what the community is looking for where you want to go. We've got some things planned and some ideas that are in the June
Is that just
newsletter.
for staffing or is,
It's for everyone.
okay.
It's for everyone. So the ice cream social will be for everyone. You just have to register.
No, as far as Best of Time, that's what I'd like to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah, so, and you can ask the questions,
Right.
you know, that make sense for you and things that you're looking for in a trip. And we gave her a lot of feedback from the ARC trip.
Do you know what time that is?
I think it's one,
There's a sign out
1
there.
o'clock or 2 o'clock. It's probably 1, because it would be after
Good, it's after
lunch.
Mhm.
2:15, sorry, it's 2:15. So it's in the afternoon after the programming, so no one has to miss anything.
Excellent.
And then we have the volunteer appreciation luncheon on the 13th. And I'll skip back. On the 10th, we have scams targeting older adults, lunch with the district attorney, and dessert is by the fountain. And we already have 16 people signed up for that, so that's going to be a really great program. The Hampton Beach trip is on the 18th. On Tuesday, we're having sort of a grandparents' lunch. Bring your grandkids up here for lunch. We'll have a barbecue, and we have music by Sean Fullerton. You just need to register. I had talked about what's happening on the 11th, and then the Newport Playhouse is September 10th. And then on Tuesday, starting June 17th, you can come up to the porch and listen to the concerts. So there'll be parking, the bathrooms will be open, the porch will be open, you can hear the music, and it'll just be another way to sort of enjoy the concerts,
That's right.
which I think would be awesome.
Is this Sean, is he the person that was here last year? that was
I
singing?
believe he
Yeah,
is,
he
yeah.
did think so.
I know one of
Yeah.
them he did, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice to come and sit.
Yeah, it's a nice afternoon with that barbecue. And then something that we're working on that I just wanted to show you, we have a lot of people calling in looking for contractors, plumbing, just locksmiths, who do I go for pets? So we're building sort of a best list. That will be, Donna will have it at the front desk. We'll get it into the newsletter. We'll get it out, you know, on our website, and we'll continue to add to it. And then we're also going to do a list of senior discounts. So
Can you ask for donations?
we can.
Leaving.
For the if you're gonna put it in the newsletter.
Well, yeah, we could, but it'll just be nice, I think, to have a list of trusted
Oh, it
vendors.
would be.
It's just a lot of people
Yeah, cause I.
can easily get scammed, and there's so many people out there.
Not, I haven't contacted him.
All right, I go with her.
So those are my updates.
Excellent, thank you. Oh, we got everything there. Awesome. Any new business, anybody? None? Then I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second it.
Look at it. Thank you.
Thank you.